And now we're joined by Ayden Jent, a Paralympian from, well, he's originally from Fort Wayne, I guess, but from Indy now. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you, Jim?
Great. Appreciate you joining us, and with Charlie as well. As the Olympics or the trials are going on, they're right in front of us now. Great to have you on. He's a former Paralympian in the Olympics, Olympic Paralympian, and the 2016 games in Rio, competing there successfully, able to finish fifth in both the 100 and the 200, and now works in that with NBC and continuing to stay involved in that. But first, let's go back. How did you get involved in that, Ayden?
My senior year at college at Indiana State, I was a manager for the team for 4 years, and I saw a video.
Here we go with managers again. We were talking about that all day.
So it was awesome. 4 years training with them and seeing how they approached practice. And my senior year, I saw a video of Michael McKillop. He's an Irish distance runner who has cerebral palsy as well. And I reached out to the high performance director for the Paralympics, and she said, come up to the national championships that summer in St. Paul, Minnesota. And so I drove up there with my dad, not really thinking of anything. They got me classified, which the Paralympics, depending on your disability, you're put in certain classes. And so I got classified, ran well enough there, qualified for Pan Am Games, where I got silver in the 100 and went to the World Championships in Doha, Qatar. And it just snowballed from there. Just did really well. Rio and London and Berlin, and just kind of traveled all over the place.
You've seen the world, man. This it's taken you around the world. It's incredible.
It has. It's opened so many doors. I never thought my disability would, but it's just been an amazing experience. Met a lot of new friends and just connecting with people and seeing a whole different world that I didn't know existed.
The most amazing thing. Disability, I don't know that that's the right word, opportunities, because as you said, challenge, man, it's as the doors that is open for you, or doors that a lot of us may not have open, but you, not only have they been open, but you have ran through those doors. So hats off to you for that. But that's an incredible story, and how you've managed to continue to go through that. What has that done? But a reason I laughed a second ago, we have been having this manager thing going on for a minute, and I had another conversation over a weekend with another coach about managers. We were talking about managers, how managers are just go on and become successful people. And man, this is a complete, I just flowed right into this, and here it happened again. I'm like, man, I couldn't have planned that any better, Charlie.
Hey, well, and what I love, what Ayden said, as a manager, watching those guys compete, perform, just think about what was going on in Ayden's mind, and probably looking for the right opportunity to compete, right? Now, and again, the only disability there may be is the lack of willingness to learn, right? To put yourself out there, man. And just by going somewhere on a whim, I don't know what's going to come from this, but we're going to get something like going from Minnesota. All of a sudden, now he's, consulting the NBC, getting ready for the Olympics coming up in Tokyo. And that's just like amazing. But just to hear that story is just so amazing to me. Now, were you a basketball manager? Is that right?
I was a track and field manager.
Track and field man. Okay, there we go. Track and field. Got it.
But I talked with the basketball guys quite a bit in the laundry room and stuff. So.
Right. Okay. There we go. Now, and what was it about it as a manager with track and field that really attracted you, in a sense to say, hey, is there an opportunity for me, with my disability?
Yeah, I went to try to walk on, and the late great Hall of Fame coach John McNichols said, your times aren't fast enough, but here's an opportunity for you to still help us. And
Nice.
we're looking for managers, and I jumped at that opportunity, and 4 years later, traveled all over the country with the team to different meets and
Nice.
watched them compete and just learned. I did everything they asked of me, tried new things that got out of my comfort zone, just kind of whatever they needed just to learn and build and grow. So
See, and you are the example, man. I mentioned it earlier, Jim. He's the example of an emergent leader, man. You start off at the lowest of levels. Hey, you're not good enough to compete, but you can go here. And you took the opportunity and you built your way up. And the thing about it, you're probably doing more. You had nothing against it. You're probably doing more than some of the players that you used to help, assist getting ready and warm up. Nothing against it, but hats off to you, man. Congratulations to what you're doing.
I just kind of created this 3-word OCP that what you just said. These 3 words just came to mind: opportunity, challenge, and perseverance.
That's it.
You were presented with an opportunity and you wanted the challenge and had the perseverance to go after it. Right. Congratulations on that, because that anybody has to, they go through that. It doesn't matter, disability, not disability. You have to have the perseverance to do those other things, to meet the challenge. And congratulations on having that wherewithal to want to do that, because it is more difficult for those that have a disability of some kind, because it obviously makes it more challenging, but maybe that makes it more a challenge for you that you want. And I love that, but I love hearing how the good that is brought to you, the opportunities that continue to come your way. What are some of the opportunities that you see that may be in the future that can come for this? Our NBC, or maybe it's your brother was in journalism, maybe it's in that direction. But what are you looking forward to coming out of this?
I'm hoping to continue to work with NBC. I really love the company and would like to try to work there full time. Maybe be Lewis Johnson, hopefully, at some point, be an interviewer on the field. I would like to continue to work in the community in Indianapolis and helping it grow, maybe run for public office down the road, but just to continue to be involved and supportive and help others.
Just a very service. It reminds me of Verdell a lot. Very, very, very service oriented. So that's also it's just you're a giver. I mean, it's like you challenge, give, challenge, give, challenge, give. I love that.
And that's what you call, he's a go-giver, man. He's a go-giver, and he's servant leadership. Guys, man, John, if you can cue this video up and we can watch this video. It's a cool video called The First Follower. Lessons from the Dancing Guy, man. It's a cool less than 2-minute video. And what Ayden represents, man, is straightly that. Talking about the community in Indianapolis, impacting young kids. And this gives you the right to say, really, there's no excuses for anything that we want to accomplish. What we emphasize, we can get, right? You emphasize it, you can get it. And that's just, again, this is a great story to hear all around from, like you say, OCP, man. I'm taking that, Jim. I'm running with that one.
I love it, man. I love it.
That's my praise for the day.
I love it. When do you leave for Tokyo? When does all that come up? Preparation for that?
I leave for Sanford, Connecticut in late August. We're not sending any staff to Tokyo because there's no public except for the locals. But I'll be working at the headquarters there for 2 weeks, and then keeping tabs on a lot of my teammates and former teammates. We got a couple from Indiana that are going. Pretty excited about.
Who are they?
Sam Grew from Middlebury, Indiana. He was a high jumper for Notre Dame and 2-time world champion in the high jump for the T63 class. He had bone cancer in his leg, and they had to amputate when he was in high school, just above the knee. But took him a couple years, but he ended up making the para team and world team in 2015, and just now he's going to go to medical school after Tokyo and become a doctor.
My God.
And then Noah Malone, he is at Indiana State. He's in the T12 class, visually impaired. And he's just blowing up the team. He should get gold in Tokyo.
What event?
The 100 and 200.
Okay, now how does someone who's visually impaired run the 100 and the 200, which requires turning? The 200 is as a half lap on that track, but that requires 2 turns. So how does someone who's visually impaired manage to stay? Because you got to stay in your lane and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the T12 and T13s are can still have sight, but the T11s, which is my favorite class, and you have to look this guy up. David Brown, who's the fastest blind athlete in the world, ran 10:98 in the 100. But he has a guide, Jerome Avery, who is tethered to him.
Oh wow!
It's just on the fingers, just by the fingers. So when they start out, they're in the blocks.
You've got to be in tandem. Oh my God!
Very much so.
Oh my golly! You talk about the ultimate being in tandem and racing, because that is, and running at 10:8. That's. I don't know how in the world you can stay in tandem, period, but running a 10:8, running a 10:8, that is absolutely mind-boggling.
It's beautiful to see, but that's just, they train constantly and just have to be in sync, in stride, and the guide has to finish behind David as they cross the finish line. And that's just one of the many different athletes. Lex Gillette, who's completely blind, is a long jumper. So his guide stands in front of the pit and claps, fly, 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 and the closer he gets, the faster he goes, and just stops, and Lex just jumps into the pit.
Oh, man,
on high jump.
In long jump. So he's running full speed to long jump pit, and he can't see anything. And he's 3-time silver medalist in long jump. He's been around for a while.
Man, because that's I don't know. I can't remember how long it is from the start to the stripe for the long jump pit, but that's, I don't know, 40 yards probably. You're running. You got to run a straight line for 40 yards, man. I couldn't do that. So I couldn't do that alone, much less the jumping part. But it's just phenomenal what these athletes do, and man, it's just amazing. It's even better than I thought this was going to be. But man, I can't thank you enough for joining us, Ayden, just and bringing this special part to us today. It's awesome, and we'll be following you. Make sure we'll keep up with you. Make sure you shoot us a message. Let us know what's going on, and maybe we'll get you back on during the Olympics.
Of course, I'd love to.
That'd be cool.
Been blessed.
We have been blessed with you, man. We appreciate you. Ayden Jent, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you. And good luck when you go up to Connecticut for the Olympics this year. And we'll look forward to talking to you again. Ayden Jent joining me and Charlie Miller here. We'll be back with more right after this.